Testing, testing. Testing. Yo, if anybody's here, just type in the chat, cause I can't. I don't know if my chat's working right now. It's not updating. I don't think. Yo, what's going on, Alex? How are you doing? Yo, Alex, did you come from like the YouTube like channel or whatever, or did you come from Instagram? Yeah, Simmons is I think he's gonna come back with like 30% jump shot from three at least. I think he'll be a decent shooter next season. Oh yeah, thanks man, from Instagram. Hopefully we can get some more people in here. '20 champs. I'll give the Sixers like a 30% chance as of now. So they got like a 1 in 3 chance. I think the Sixers have like essentially a guaranteed spot in the finals. I think they could probably make it to the finals, but that's when they'll see problems with the Lakers and Clippers. Are the Bucks a big threat? I don't consider them a threat. If they're in a series with the Sixers, I don't think the Bucks really have a shot just because of how big the Sixers team is. They're going to be able to handle Giannis really well. And the Nets, ooh, that's going to get interesting because I think KD will be back for the playoffs next season. I just saw something or whatever. He's going to be like 6 months till he's fully recovered, but then of course he has to like do all his conditioning and stuff after that to get back on the floor. But I wouldn't count the Nets out right now. I think if they get KD back, they're definitely a threat. They very well could beat us in a series if they have KD, Kyrie, and DeAndre Jordan and all those other like shifty guards that come off the bench and whatever. If I had to rank the supporting cast from 2018 to 2020 from best to worst, how would I rank it? Do you mean like each year, the 2018, like the, how should I say this? Like the bench from the beginning of this past season to the end, and then the new bench going into next season, or do you mean the like our bench right now going into next season? All right, each year. I'd say the best bench was probably the one in Ben and Joel's first playoffs with Bellinelli and Ilyasova. That's probably the best bench. And then the worst bench would probably be the one from this past year. And then the one going into next season's probably in the middle. And let me know if you could hear my controller a lot, if it's annoying, because I'm pretty sure the mic is picking it up. Is it like really loud or whatever? I can like try and move it here. How about now? All right. I'll try and get that sorted out real quick. Let me try and fix that. Here, I'm gonna unscrew the mic real quick and then I'll plug it back in. There we go. That should improve it at least a little bit. Something I've noticed with the all the players the Sixers brought in this off season is that they're gonna run a lot of pick and rolls next season with Tobias Harris, Richardson, and Horford. They're all big pick and roll guys, so I think that like JJ Redick dribble handoff is gonna be gone next season, or like any dribble handoffs really. Yo, what's up, Scurvy? Big Sixers fan? Yeah, I'm a huge Sixers fan as well. Better or worse? I'd say the starting. I'm gonna split this up into the starting lineup and the bench because I think the overall team's essentially the same on the same level. But the starting lineup, they definitely the talent. There's definitely less talent next year, but the guys in the starting lineup will probably have better chemistry and fit better together, chemistry wise. And then the bench, the talent's improved. Chemistry is about the same or whatever, maybe a little bit lower because we lost like TJ and Boban and guys like that, glue guys. But overall, I think we increased the talent of the bench and decreased the talent of the starting lineup, but we increased the chemistry on the starting lineup and decreased the chemistry on the bench. So I think it's sort of going to balance itself out. Damn, they got Corey Brewer on this roster here. That's rough. I wish we could have him back. Man, I can't wait for the next season to get started. We're officially like halfway through the off season right now, but we still got a long way to go. 2 months till our first game or something like that. Damn, Ennis is on fire. Do I think we're gonna sign anybody else? Yeah, we're definitely gonna sign at least one more vet minimum player. I'd hope Cephalosha as well, maybe Trey Burke or Carmelo Anthony. I know people don't like him because of all his like chemistry issues, but he could give some really solid scoring off the bench. Who knows? But yeah, definitely another signing, maybe even two. Actually, maybe more because there was like this whole thing you can carry 20 players on your team during the off season, but you can only carry 15, of course, during the regular season. So they might sign a couple extra guys just to see who plays the best or whatever, and then keep a couple of them and let some of them go or whatever. I don't exactly know how that works, but yeah, they're definitely gonna sign some more guys. Oh, Corey Brewer, come on, oh, bro. Hold up, we need to get Livingston and Brewer out of here. They not on the team. Let's see. Oh, we got Neto. He's a 69, bro. Come on. That's sad. Zaire's a 69 as well. All right, they're going to be like... There's no way that's the official rating. They're not a 69. There's no way. Come on. This is what I get for playing without headsets. I get shot clock violations all the time. Yo, I got 2 viewers. All right. At least I don't have 0. That's cool. Here, I'm gonna talk about the West a little bit because I haven't really gotten a chance to talk about the West. Yo, what's going on, Zach? How is it going, man? I think everybody's underrating the Lakers and Clippers right now. And I think people get really excited or whatever when they talk about the Sixers, because they like envision this like really easy path in the East, which isn't wrong. You know, we have the Bucks or whatever, and then it's basically nobody else, and we have a great shot against the Bucks. But these other teams could make a move as well. But really, East is going to be easy compared to whoever we match up against in the finals. But the teams we're going to match up in the finals against are going to be nasty if we make it there. It's not going to be easy at all. I say we have like a 70-75% chance to get out of the East, but winning the finals, that's like 1 in 3 chance. Maybe even like 1 in 4. I'm not exactly sure, but that's not going to be easy at all. You think this is our best supporting cast yet, Sixer Daily? I can't agree with you there. I still think that bench in 2018, the Bellinelli Ilyasova squad, dude, that was solid. Although we do have Mike Scott and James Ennis, but that's like they're like the top tier of bench guys, and then everybody else sort of like drops off or whatever. But then I think like the ninth or like the eighth or ninth, all the way to the 15th guy are all on like the same level right now. So I mean, some of those guys are definitely gonna step up and have a bigger role or whatever. And I think it could be our best bench if like Zaire or Matisse or whoever pans out. But right now, I don't think I can compare him to Bellinelli and Ilyasova. I miss those. I miss those guys. I wish they stayed in that off season. And this might be our best supporting cast. This year might be our best supporting cast in like the next 5, 6, 7 years, because of how much money we're paying to our starters. We might not even be able to bring Mike Scott back or whatever once his contract's up. You wouldn't be surprised if Bellinelli gets bought out. Yeah, I don't know exactly what's going on with him on the Spurs or whatever, but I doubt we'd bring him back. After what happened with Ilyasova or whatever, we brought him back and then he left, and Bellinelli's already left. But he would be sick. He would be nasty off the bench back on this team. That would be insane. Better than Korver, in my opinion. Who do I prefer on the Sixers? Just looking at stats alone, I'd take Cephalosha and Trey Burke, but I don't know what our odds are for Trey Burke, but obviously Cephalosha is a good option. I'd probably want him, and then I'd go with Carmelo Anthony just because, he's a high upside, low risk guy. Like, even if you brought him on, it's just a vet minimum or whatever. It's not a huge deal. But again, like the chemistry issues could like plague our team, but I doubt it would be that serious. He could have some solid shot creation off the bench, a little bit at least. All right, Dominique. No team has a shot at beating the Sixers except for the Clippers and Rockets in a 7-game series. I think it really just depends on the injuries, and I still would give the Lakers a shot just because they have LeBron and AD, and then they have a pretty solid supporting cast or whatever, especially because of the fact that Kawhi destroyed them or whatever with his length of his decision. They missed out on all the free agents, but they got a solid squad there. Avery Bradley, Danny Green, DeMarcus Cousins if he's healthy. Who knows how good LeBron will be next year, but he probably will still be excellent on offense, but the defensive side he's probably not going to do well. Oh snap! I'm playing the Raptors. I literally didn't even realize till now. But I'm really thankful for Kawhi's decision, because if he would have stayed in the East, that would have been pretty scary or whatever for us or whatever. But the fact that he went to the Clippers and not the Lakers and didn't like completely ruin the NBA was just a really great move by him. Scurvy, you think the Lakers depend on Boogie? I don't think they depend that much on Boogie, just because like the Warriors or whatever this season, obviously they were stacked even without Boogie. I think it's similar with the Lakers. But if he can stay healthy, he can definitely help them a lot. But I don't think he'd be like the deciding factor for them. But I don't think he's going to get injured as much as he did with the Warriors, just because he's gonna have this whole off season to get healthy. Do any of you guys know when training camp starts? Like the around when training camp will start? I know it starts sometime in September. Do you guys know if it's like mid or late or early September, whenever? If it is, I might even be wrong about that being in September at all. You can Sixer Daily. You could see Zaire or Matisse breaking out. Yeah, I do think that's likely. I think Zaire still, he's like in the shadows when everybody talks about him. Just because the fact that he's been on the team for a year and he hasn't played much, everybody's sort of gotten quiet, and then just the fact that Matisse was drafted so recently, everybody's like building up hype around him. But I still do think Zaire could really pan out. Mid to late September. All right, thanks. Josh Richardson, top 5 shooting guard in the East. Ooh, let me think about that. I gotta think. Who do the Bucks have? They got Wesley Matthews. Nah. Nets. Who do they have? Joe Harris? I don't even know. I'm not even paying attention to the game right now. But yeah, he probably is a top 5 shooting guard, especially because there's only 15 teams in the East. It's pretty weak. Scurvy's LeBron at 80. I don't know about that one. Chief. Zaire could be like how Norman Powell. Ooh, he could be similar to him. Yeah, I don't pay attention much to Norman Powell or whatever, but I know he's a solid bench guy for the Raptors. I think Zaire needs the ball in his hand a little bit more though. But he could be very similar. September 22nd, is that like the exact date right there? Ooh. We got a long way. Today's July 20. That's like 1 day under 2 months. A month and 30 days or a month and 29 days. That's rough. Oh, Dominique, the regular season schedule comes out in like early August, so like basically the 1st to the 15th of August, somewhere in there. But then they also announced like the opening day games come out a little bit earlier, and so do the Christmas games, and then like the full schedules come out in that August 1st to 15th time frame. Why is Livingston on the Sixers? Because I downloaded a roster or whatever on 2K, and they put like the Sixers are missing guys on their roster, so they just used like a filler, Livingston as a filler, but he's not on the team. 4 more spots for camp. Yeah. Wait, isn't it Sixer Dale? You might know a bit about this. How does like the 20 player in the or you can hold 20 players on your team in the off season? How does that work? Because I know there's 15 in the regular season, but then there's something that came out, you can hold like 20 in the off season, and I guess they would all go to training camp, and then you can like somehow release 5 of them, so you have 15 for the regular season. SD for Philly. When you see Thibault, you're thinking about Kawhi or Pippen. Yeah. I get what you're saying. I don't think he's as much he can't handle the ball as well as Kawhi right now. I think of more of a Danny Green when I watch him, especially with his like silky smooth jump shot. It really reminds me of Danny Green, especially because of the fact that he's a really unselfish player. He doesn't need the ball in his hands. He just plays solid defense. He's around that same height as Danny Green, and he's got like the exact same jumper. I think that Zaire reminds me a bit more of Kawhi or like Pippen or whatever than Matisse, but I could see the resemblance there. Oh, I gotta read this. All right, 15 for the regular season. All right. So that's why what was I gonna say? We have the two ways. Oh yeah. Cause can't you have like wait a second. Can't you have 15 guys under contract and then like you have your the two-way deals? Can you have those at the same time in the regular season? And yeah, we signed Kumaji to an Exhibit 10, so he's going to be at training camp as well. He's definitely not playing for the Sixers, though. Yeah, you got my example right as I got that. Oh, we got Norman Powell right here. Dang. All right, yeah, you can have a full 15 in two ways. Thanks. All right, so then we're definitely gonna have. I don't know who would be on that second two-way, because I know we have Shayok on one of them right now, but I think he's gonna get a contract if he turns out well, of course, in the training camp. I don't know about Shayok though. He just seems like he plays too much like Kevin Durant, but he's not like that size, or he doesn't have the same size. Pella's on a two-way as well, yeah. I don't know if we'll sign him or not. Maybe we could get like Faria or whatever. How do you say his name? Faried? Kenneth Faried? Farier? Faried? I don't know. I think we could get him possibly. Shaq can get playing time. Yeah, I could see that. I could see that if it's like we're playing like the Bulls or something, and we're gonna sit out like Embiid and who even knows who else, Horford maybe at the same time. That's like what am I saying? But yeah, I could see Shaq getting playing time in like the games against like lottery teams and whatever. I don't think he'll get consistent rotation minutes in actual like important games. Like maybe I'd say the same thing about Zaire and Matisse, but it really depends on how all of them pan out. I think one of them probably could crack the rotation. Damn, is Sean Livingston that good at defense in real life? We need to sign him if he's that good. 2 blocks in a row. Sixers can use the remaining spots for a guard and a wing who can shoot. Yeah. There aren't many guards left except we have Sean Livingston and Trey Burke, and then those are like the only two ones I've really noticed. And the wings, obviously, we have a few options there. I feel like we already got so many wings. We got Shayok, Zaire, Matisse coming off the bench, Ennis. How am I losing, bro? I'm losing against the AI. That's not good. Alright, comeback time. Why do we have Kyle O'Quinn in with 1 minute to go? Hold up. We need some subs. SD for Philly, you think that all three of the guys can crack the rotation if Brett Brown isn't light with it or isn't tight with his rotation? Yeah, I think I can't see all three of them getting playing time just because we already have Mike Scott coming off the bench and obviously the five starters in Ennis. Unless they play Ennis a little bit less, because I know he didn't do well in the regular season last year. If we can get like a 10-man rotation, then yeah. Or if we have a 10-man rotation in the regular season, like a consistent with those like ninth or 10th guys, if they get like, 5 plus 10 minutes a game or whatever, I think they probably could crack their rotation, all three of them. Oh, dude, another shot clock. Oh, you know what I might do? I might throw one of these games in auto or whatever, and then it'll just play out with the computers, but then it'll be super boring. Oh, yeah, we go into that Big Al. I'll get him be wide open on the corner. Give me that cash. That's a two? Come on. Dude. Alright. Why would... Oh, I should have gone for the steal. If I could have done that. Did I want the Sixers to run it back? No. I swear, dude. This is like not the exact situation I wanted. I didn't want Horford. I wanted Brogdon. But I didn't want them to keep the Sixers to keep Jimmy just because of his athletic play style. He's already like 29 or whatever. He's going to be 34 at the end of his contract, and he depends on his athleticism. So they're just there. I don't think his max would be worth it. And then the Tobias, of course, he fits the age range of Joel and Ben. So that's why I would have picked him for the max. And he just fits better on the floor with his shooting and play style. But no, I didn't want the Sixers to run it back. If we ran it back, we weren't getting J.J. Redick back. We weren't having a bench for the next, however many years these guys are under contract. But at least with the fact that we traded Jimmy Butler, we got two guys. Now we essentially turned Jimmy Butler into two starters with the money that we would have ended up paying him. So now we have five guys that are getting paid or whatever. We're using really all of our cap space on five guys, and then everybody else is essentially like vet minimums and super cheap instead of just four like it would have been with Jimmy. SD for Philly. Al Horford will be good to get Embiid to settle his showboating. Yeah, I agree. I don't like. There's part of me that likes his showboating, and then there's just other times where it's just like too much or whatever. But I think he's definitely gonna try and get Embiid right with his attitude or whatever. Especially like in the regular season. Well, the regular season is more for fun and games, but even like Game 3 or whatever, like he basically celebrated before anything was even over. Oh, you joking? Over the back, loose ball. Oh damn. But yeah. And Horford's definitely gonna help him. I made a post earlier on Instagram, if that's where you came from, about that or whatever. He said he's gonna help out Embiid and Simmons a lot. You agree Tobias fits the age range along with who we got back? Oh yeah, Richardson too. I didn't even mention him before. He's 26 or whatever. I wanted more back in the deal or whatever, but I'll take Richardson or whatever. That's fine. Although people, a lot of Sixer fans think we had the leverage, but we didn't, because he's either leaving for nothing, or he's going to the Heat, and we have to give the Heat whatever they want. Can I stop fouling? Can this game just end? It's over. Yo, Mr. Stone, what's going on, man? When Kawhi hit the shot in Game 7, did you think it was a magnetic rim? Dude, I was about to make a video on that. I had, like, the idea to make a video on it because I heard, I don't know if you watch, was it him? It might have been, Sports Talk with Bros. I don't know if you watch him. I watch his videos all the time. I believe it was him. He brought up something about, like, having, like, the Toronto rims having magnets in them. And then when you go and look back at it at the games they had, like you had that insane Van Vliet shot that like spun around the rim like 5 times, hit the backboard twice, and then it went in. Like it just doesn't make sense. I think they do have magnetic rims in Toronto. The amount of times the balls bounce on the rim is insane. And I was playing basketball in my driveway, and it took me like a full month of playing basketball in the driveway, probably like hundreds of shots, and I was actually able to like kind of replicate what happened with Kawhi, but I only did it with 3 bounces. It took me forever though. Sixers, the Heat didn't have much to offer. Yeah, they didn't have a ton, but they have some young guys that aren't getting paid much, like Bam or whatever, and Derek Jones. But I put out a tweet on Twitter or whatever about a potential trade package, and I had like I think it was Winslow, Derek Jones, and Bam. And that would have worked if we had the leverage, but we didn't. So I got toasted by a bunch of Heat fans there. Apparently, Derek Jones or whatever, they're like just not willing to give him up at all. So yeah, they didn't have a ton to give us other than really Richardson and Bam. You hit the Kawhi shot in 2K. I didn't even know they have an animation for that. Here, let me try something on here. No way the ball was supposed to go in on a regular court. Yeah, I mean, the ball had like front spin when it hit the front of the rim, so it sort of was like, how do I explain it? It was just the spin that was on the ball. I don't know how you get so much, how did you even get front spin? Now that I think of it, if I imitate shooting a basketball right now, wouldn't it have backspin, like going, what? I can't even, I don't understand it. It was insane, that shot. But I think it was good for us. We needed the money for Horford. Yeah, I mean, we definitely overpaid for him a little bit. I think we could have gone lower, but you know, we can say that about anybody really. But obviously, yeah, we would have been paying Jimmy like $35 million, but instead we give Al Horford like $25 million or whatever it is, and then Richardson $10 million. And then you get 2 players for what you would have been paying for 1, and they probably fit the team better. You posted on Instagram. What's your Instagram? Let me check it out. Oh, we got 6 viewers. Oh, we're lit right now. Let's go. Thanks for watching, everybody. This stream is not over. Oh, wow. They just put out the thank you Boban post on the Sixers Instagram. Rip. This is the Embiid Simmons 3rd year playing together. They were both 50 wins, 2nd round playoff exits. Took MJ 7 years to win a championship. Yeah, I mean, it's just so long term. It's really long term. I haven't been a fan of the NBA for long. I came in and sort of became a fan at a really convenient time. But, yeah, I mean, I think it was similar for LeBron, wasn't it? Like, he didn't make the finals for, like, 3 years or something like that. Definitely not in his first year. Bolden has been at the training complex. Who? I don't know where you saw that. I haven't, like, paid any attention to that. If that is there, I might have just scrolling past it, but I didn't notice that. Oh, here you go. Saints and Sixers fan. All right. Oh, here we go. This Steph Curry one. That ain't it. Oh, you got some interesting drawings here. Where is it at? Jonas Story. Oh yeah. I saw he posted something on his story and I didn't look at it before. Where is he? I think he's gonna get traded, or I kind of like part of me wants him to get traded because we can get a good return for him, but at the same time he has potential as well. So it's sort of like another like win now thing. Do we want to like win now or wait for him? Because I think he has potential. All right, I see him. I see him at the locker room. All right, he's got his shoes and everything. Oh, he's got a Mac. That ruins it. That ruins it right there. Nah, dude. He got the Magic keyboard as well, or the wireless one. All right, at least he got a decent mouse. That's cool. That's cool. Yeah, I saw your. I found your Instagram. I don't know which post is the shot or whatever. Oh, is this it? Hold up. That ain't it. I don't know if you saw this Sixer Daily. What was it? Oh, I completely the trade proposition or whatever. Someone said, I don't know if you were in the chat or not, but in one of the chats that I'm in, DMs or whatever, someone said Derek White and a first, or no, Jonah Bolden and a first for Derek White. I might take that deal. I don't know much about Derek White. I just know he played well in the playoffs, so that would be cool to have him on our team. I think he's a point guard too, if I'm not mistaken or whatever. We should develop him because he could be a great player on the third or fourth year of his deal. Yeah, yeah. He's on. Wait, is he on like an actual? He's got to be on an NBA contract. How many years does he have on it? Yeah, we would add more. We would get some win now pieces out of him or whatever. People have been talking about him for a while though. Like he's always like been around the Sixers organization, but he didn't get to play the season before. Yeah, that whole first year, everybody was talking about him as like the Sixers like hidden gem, and he was disappointing when you think of him that way. But he really didn't play that bad. He's on the second year, 4 years, 7 mil. Oh, that's a good deal. Providing he plays really well. Same thing with Shake. That's like a big reward if he pans out, but it's not like terrible if he doesn't, because you could just trade him. You wouldn't trade Bolden. The Sixers signed Neto, and he's the backup point guard. I don't think he could be. I don't think Neto can be the backup point guard. Now that I'm thinking about it, though, we shouldn't trade Bolden for another point guard. I would trade Shake, but at the same time, we don't know how Shake's playing or how he's gonna pan out, because we already have two backup point guards, although neither of them are like that good. Yeah, yeah, that's why we need them to pan out. Yeah, I understand it. I understand that. But if they don't pan out this year, if we're gonna go all in this year, then we might make a move with them or whatever. I don't think we should put all our eggs in one basket. We could find a young power forward to replace Bolden. I mean, I just think we have too many power forwards on the team right now, or too many guys that can play power forward. We have like Tobias, Mike Scott. You're going to have Pell, Horford. Wait, did I say Horford? No, I didn't say Horford. All right, let me just count these. Tobias, Horford. That's all right. Mike Scott, Jonah Bolden, maybe Norvell Pell and O'Quinn. They're maybes. So we have 4 guys that can play the power forward spot, and then 2 maybes. Pell power forward. I just realized that probably isn't gonna work. We'll make that 5. Neto is going to look like someone's kid on this team. He is so tiny compared to everybody else. He's going to look like a little kid next to his dad. Oh yeah, let's start this game. Young power forward to replace Bolden. I don't know the options out there, so I can't really say anything about that, but I mean, we have Bolden. He's young or whatever, but we'll see. Neto can't be the full-time backup. Yeah, I agree. He's like a regular season guy. You could probably get away with having him as your backup in the regular season, but once the playoffs hit, you're not going to be able to do that. What is this? We got some NBA investigation news. Apparently, some NBA teams have been offering some, what's the word, against the rules, I guess, incentives or whatever for players to join their teams. Something about Kawhi here. He was asking for something that you, not included in the contract for the team to give him. And the NBA is investigating that, I suppose. 76ers trade too much. Go with what we got. Yeah, we're locked in. We made all those trades last season. If I were Elton Brand, I probably wouldn't have ripped the Jimmy Butler trade originally, just because of it's not looking in hindsight, obviously left or whatever. I just don't think he would have fit on our team, especially with the fact that we lost Robert Covington and Sarge or whatever. We lost both of them in that trade. I probably wouldn't have done that, but yeah, there's not gonna be any major trades anymore for the next 3-4 years, maybe. We need another combo guard that can shoot. Yeah, I agree. There's a problem sort of the Sixers have or whatever, or just something obviously we need a backup point guard that can play really well, but we also need a shot creator. And if we could get a 2-in-1, if we could somehow get our hands on a Lou Williams type guy, I'd probably go after that. But yeah, I don't really know. We need shot creation and backup point guard. I'd try to check those 2 boxes off in wait, what am I even talking about? We need closing in our games. Our backup point guard. I'd try to check those off in one trade. Get a Lou Williams type player, even though there aren't many. You wouldn't have paid Dario. Wait, was Dario Wasn't he still under contract or whatever for a couple years? Or I don't know. Let me look at the details of his contract. The ESPN sponsor the Lakers. Oh yeah, it was funny, especially when Stephen A. Smith said that. What was it? He said that Kawhi grew up a Laker fan. He was just like completely lying because he was a Sixer fan. I think you guys saw it on my story if you saw that. Giannis was a AI fan as well, along with Kawhi. That would have been sick. Or that was really interesting. Sixers don't have much movable players. I mean, you could look at Ben Simmons and maybe Tobias Harris, and they're both like another Warrior signing here. Whatever, irrelevant. But like Ben Simmons and Tobias Harris, you could probably move them. Like if you had to, obviously you're not going to right now. But yeah, I mean, if you look at the bench guys, the young guys who just got their contracts, like Shake Milton or whatever, and Bolden's on that contract, you could move them. But Horford, you're not getting rid of him probably, unless you put picks along with it. Because we have like those huge contracts, and then we have the tiny ones. There's not many in the middle. Dario's on an expiring contract, yeah. I mean, when you look at Sarge, though, he probably would have taken a pay cut to stay here. I don't know how much of a pay cut he would have taken, but he probably would have. And he was he was probably well, according to the stats at least, he was our second best like scoring option in that series versus the Celtics. So he wasn't like Covington or whatever, like breaking all his shots. He actually played pretty decent. Damn, I might need to shout out this stream again. Get some people in here. Dario and Covington were inconsistent. Yeah, I agree. The odds of one of them showing up, though, is better than, like, well, no. But chances are at least one of them will show up every night. But again, like, you could apply that to anybody, especially, like, remember JJ Redick last season? He had like that really, really rough shooting spurt or whatever, or what's it called? Shooting slump. And he was just like out of it completely. It was like March or whatever, sort of close to the playoffs. And then everybody was like worrying like how's he gonna play in the playoffs? But I mean anybody that shoots a lot, takes a lot of 3-pointers, they're gonna have their slumps or whatever, and they're gonna be inconsistent. Yo, Mason Berry and Fear Chaos, what's going on, my guys? Thanks for stopping by. Oh, yeah, we're up 8 according to 2K. We're winning the finals next year. You're like JJ is gone. I don't have much to say. If he would have came off the bench, I would have taken him back, but again, he was going to ask for too much money, so there's not much we could have done. We couldn't have paid him enough. I like JJ as well, Mason. But again, he struggles on defense, and yeah, he's getting paid too much. I'm not one of the people right now though who's like obsessing over getting a sharpshooter. I don't think we need one like people think we do. Especially if Ben starts shooting, we don't need any more shooting. We have plenty. How do I figure out what to post on my account, like my Instagram? Do you mean my YouTube or my Instagram or whatever? Instagram. Um, I sort of have a variety of like go-to things. Like obviously, I make like interactive posts or whatever. That's when like when the news is slow, I make an interactive post. I ask a question or whatever. Um, but yeah, I mean, if there's news going on, I post about that. Those usually those all those posts do well, and then like the interactive ones I throw in when it's getting stale. But yeah, just coming up with like ideas or whatever for like interactive content is probably the hardest part. But then like obviously I started blurring out pictures or whatever, and then I sort of do that, like try and guess the player, just little things like that. But figuring out content, it kind of just comes over time. J.R. Shumpert, yeah, I wouldn't mind Shumpert at all. J.R. like who knows with him? Obviously he's had his problems, but he's still not a bad player. I just don't want him hurting the chemistry. Do you listen to Rights to Ricky Sanchez podcast? Yeah, I've listened to that a couple of those, but I'm not like a regular listener or whatever. I've listened to a few though. Can't wait for the Clippers and Sixers to play defensive battle. I hope I can get a ticket to one of those games. I hope so. If they're cheap enough. Yo, what's going on, Ashley? How are you doing? Oh, you're the one. You're from the chat or whatever. What's going on? Yeah. Clippers Sixers. Yeah, yeah. That's hype. That's real hype. Mason, thanks for the sub, man. I just got a notification on my phone or whatever. This dude on Instagram better not be asking me for a shout out. I get like 10 people a day asking me for shout outs. You really love our supporting cast, Sixer Daily? Yeah. It's not bad. I think it could use an upgrade, but you know, this is probably the best we're going to have for the next 5 years, so let's just be happy with it. Alright, this dude is not asking me for a shout out. That's great. Oh, something's up. He just followed me. Oh, supporting caster on Ben and Joel. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I like our supporting cast too. We got Richardson, Tobias, Horford. Tobias really complements their play style as well. Tobias is definitely going to average 20. I guarantee you. As long as he, even if he stays the same as last season, he's going to average 20 because he's going to have the ball so much more. He's going to be like Clippers. Tobias might come back. Tobias said he was misused. Yeah, I saw that. He definitely was misused, and that was one of my points when I was making my posts like before free agency started, saying that I didn't want to bring Jimmy Butler back and I wanted Tobias is because he was just not being used the right way. People look at the way he shot in the playoffs, and that's not his fault. It's the way he was used. He's not a catch and shoot guy. He shoots better off the dribble, but he didn't have the ball in his hands to shoot off the dribble. I don't know if you guys recall the OKC Thunder game where Tobias took over. He had like 30 points or whatever. Almost all of his shots were off the dribble in that game. But yeah, he was just completely misutilized. He should be like the secondary or maybe third ball handler on this team like he was with the Clippers. Oh yeah, yeah. Cigar puffs in late June. Hopefully, hopefully. Yeah, no, Jimmy Butler was in that OKC Thunder game. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, yeah. I remember a highlight. I did see a Jimmy Butler highlight for that game. That was back when he had like the cornrows or whatever. I hated that. I hated that. You think the Sixers should sign summer league standouts to exhibit tens? I mean, yeah, I want the Sixers to do that, but the other teams have probably already signed them or whatever by now. We gained like 6 subs from this live stream. I appreciate everybody being here or whatever. It's just cool talking about the Sixers or whatever. Now we're obviously gaining subs or whatever, and you guys are gonna watch my videos. So thank you. All right, I see Sixers house over here on the story. He's got this Ben Simmons clone in the park. I got one of those too. I don't know. Maybe I should go. Should I go on the park and play with my Ben Simmons player? Damn, Chandler went to Brooklyn. Oh yeah, I remember that now. Muscala went to OKC. Yeah, they're gonna be trash. I don't. Neither of them were anything special, but people definitely underrated Wilson Chandler. He wasn't terrible. People treated him like he was like trash, but he wasn't that bad. And Muscala, he was just same thing as like the other guys that are big shooters like Sarge and Covington, like we were talking before. He's just inconsistent. Yo, what's going on, Blank Mixin? What am I saying? I can't even talk right now. Blank Mixes, what's going on, man? No, I haven't answered this already. I made a video on it, but I haven't answered this in the live stream. I don't mind at all. What did I think of Matisse and Zaire? I liked how consistent they were. They all played well and like, well, they both played well in all of the games or whatever. They didn't have like off nights or whatever, and I like that. Cause I know what's his name, Pell. Norvel Pell. He played really well in the first game, but then he sort of dropped off in the other ones. Same with Kumaji, but Zaire and Matisse, they both were consistent throughout the whole summer league. And obviously, I like both of their range. Matisse's jump shot is excellent. His defense is great. And then you have Zaire. Obviously, he's got his athletic dunks, a little bit of a perimeter game there. And obviously, he's got the defense as well. Muscala had a great game against Detroit. Was that the game that Blake Griffin had the game winner? Oh yeah, on Broad's show. I remember this. This was a while ago, right after Muscala got traded to the Clippers, and then he got traded again to the Lakers for Zubats or whatever. Uh, Broads was saying on his show or whatever that like before the game, he wondered if or he knew that half the crowd in Philly was gonna be mooing when he was taking his shots, and the other half would be booing. I thought that was really funny. I'm not very funny when I say it, cause I got a really monotone voice, but it was funny when he said that. Oh yeah, let me get on the park or whatever with that Ben Simmons build. It's 9:16. All right, I probably got like 30 minutes in me. It was funny we played him in the first game since the trade. Yeah, that was cool. And it was also funny how I went to the Nuggets game, and I don't mean to show off that first game that Tobias played for the Sixers, the home game versus the Nuggets or whatever. This is my small forward Tobias Harris build right here. Where's my Maverick build? That's Ben. But yeah, I was at that Tobias game, man. The first three he hit, the Wells for the Farg was lit that night, dude. I was there for everything, bro. Oh my god, it was amazing. I literally picked the best game to go to this season, and that was the only one I went to. I still need to go to a playoff game though. The playoff games were insane. The playoff games were insane, all of them. Yo, Senators, what's going on, man? How you doing? Oh, here's my Simmons build. My pure slasher 6. What is he? 6'9", 6'10". That was the game. The Nuggets game was the one JJ Redick went off for like 34. He was on fire the entire game. 6'9", 250 pounds, max weight, pure slasher. Yeah, my guy is lit. I only have one Hall of Fame. That must be posterizer. 65 win percent. All right. Oh, that's my NBA stats. 65% in the... Bruh, that's trash. These elites, bro. Come on. Yo, you remember that the Spurs game? What was it? That huge sequence or whatever against the Spurs. It started with like earlier in the game. Jonah Bolden had those 2 blocks on Aldrich, I believe. And then he had that dunk going up the floor. And then later in the game, the Sixers came back from like they were 10 points down or whatever in the last couple minutes, and they came back. And you had that JJ 3, the Shamet 3. That was very, very hype. This season had a lot of great moments. Yo, what's going on? Rebounding? How's it going, man? Comeback against San Antonio was crazy. Yup. Game 3 against Toronto. That was, dude, the windmill dunk, and the guy saying, the commentator, he was like, the ground is, or the building is shaking or whatever. That was hype, dude. That was so hype. And then there's the Sixers Celtics game, the last one of the season. Jimmy Butler, I like that shot at the end, but there was another one. It was really satisfying. I'm ashamed of myself that I don't remember the commentator's name or whatever, but there was the one guy or whatever, the one commentator, and every time like someone hits like a clutch 3 or they're on fire or whatever and hit another shot, he's like bang or whatever. Like the really satisfying bang. And he had that in like the home Sixers Celtics game when Jimmy Butler was getting on fire. That was awesome as well. Oh, yeah, give me these dudes. This dude better stay on the spot. 7 viewers. Oh, snap. That's how many likes we got on the stream. We're on fire right now. The building felt like an earthquake. Dude, my house was shaking. Because I always, for the Sixers games, I always put the TV up super duper loud. And my family hates it. But, I mean, when the Sixers crowd goes ham, it's just insane. Like, I can get goosebumps at home listening to it. It's awesome. We lost. Wait, which game was that? Wait, what was I just talking about? I don't even remember. Mike Breen, that might be him. I'm not familiar with all like the commentators' names except Mark and Allah. Allah, we're coming in for a landing, dude. I love that quote from Zoom. Yeah, it's not over until we win the last game. Completely agree. That was like, yeah, I just, man, if we would have won Game 4, bro, if Kawhi wouldn't have hit that Game 4 shot, who knows where we would be right now. As much as we want to look at the Game 7 shot, what if he didn't have to hit that Game 4 shot too? I'm on an AI, dude. The AI's got clamps, bro. Come on. And I'm a slasher, so I can't even shoot over him. And this dude's invited me to a party now. That's fun. Alright, we're going to post him. This dude airballed, bro. Come on. Let me get out of here. Give me that board. Come on. Game 4 was a must-win. I don't think Game 4 was a must-win, but it was like, if we win, the series is over. That's in. It's not. Alright. I'm never going to score against this AI. I'm going to need to take like a jump shot or something. Goals to win the last game of the season. Yeah, it sucks how, you know, like when you go into the playoffs, 15 of those teams are going to end their season on a loss. Come on. This dude just went right through the rim. The AI just went right through the rim to block me. That is doo-doo. Oops. I think next year in 2K20, I'm going to make a build for like each of the Sixers players to imitate their play style. So I'm probably going to have like a slashing playmaker for Ben, you know, a pure shot small forward or power forward for Tobias. Then we're going to have like the Embiid shot creating, sharp shooting, post score or whatever. I'm going to have each of those. Bro. This dude's 0-3 on my team? Come on. Why is he inviting me? Guard your... What are you doing? Guard up. What is... Bro, this dude's trash. And he's cold. Look at him. That is sad that that guy bricked too. I can make that shot with my slasher. If this guy's gonna sell, I'm gonna sell too. Oh yeah, shoot that AI. Simmons is working on that 3. I think he's had this 3. I think he's got the 3 the whole time, and he's just not showing it. That's a brick. Never mind. It's just like that. Simmons is just like Fultz or whatever. He had that one video of him. I don't remember when it was, of him just hitting threes over and over again. And Fultz had one of those videos too, where he hit like 20 threes in a row or something. Simmons had one of those as well. I don't remember when it was. Or like, I don't remember the video exactly, but he had one of those types of videos where he was hitting like everything from 3. Yeah, screw Fultz. Dude, imagine where would we be right now if Fultz panned out? If he played the way he did at Washington, where would we be right now? We wouldn't be here. We probably would have had a chip already. If we traded for Tobias Harris too instead of like Jimmy Butler or whatever, and Fultz was like our shot creator, dude, we wouldn't have that problem. Do I or do you, I guess, think the Sixers will win it all in the next 5 years? Um, I'm not gonna speak too soon, but we got a very solid chance. I'd say the next 3 years are probably prime time, or the next two. Like every year that goes by, I think we have a lower chance, but I don't think you could count us out in the next 3 years. It's just the chances are a lot higher now. Oh, we were one shot away. Stop leaving him open, bro. Come on. If it wasn't for Alden, Fultz would have ruined the process. I just wish we could have got back more for him. Obviously, we got a first-round pick, but I think we should have tried to get more actual players instead of picks. Unless he's gonna convert that pick into a better player. Speaking of picks and converting them for players, Ennis was a steal. We got him for a second-round pick, and now we're gonna have him for a second, maybe even third year for super cheap. The funny thing with Embiid, obviously everybody says like age-wise he's not in his prime, but personally I think he's almost there in his prime. Just because of the way, I don't think he can really do much more than he has been. Alright, this dude carried me. I'm just going to ignore that for now. I got 3 assists, though, on Ben Simmons. Getting those dishes. We got the most we could have got for him. I mean, yeah, I don't know, exactly. I don't know what his trade value really was. I just feel like we could have got more player-wise for him than Jonathan Simmons. We traded the rights to have the higher second-round pick for Ennis. It wasn't even a set, bro. That's an absolute steal. And he was a starter for the Rockets, so I don't know why they would have pulled the trigger on that deal. That seems stupid on their part. Who knows? Maybe he wasn't playing well for them, just like he didn't play well for us in the regular season. They want to get under the tax. Yeah, that sucks for them. Some teams just want to just hang under the luxury tax. I don't know if that's because they keep their exception or whatever, but yeah, it's rough for them. They gave up a solid bench player in the playoffs for not even a second-round pick. Giannis can carry them. Yeah, he could, but it really just comes to he can only do so much when you compare him to Embiid and Simmons in a series, and Tobias Harris, and it's really Middleton and Giannis versus Ben, Joel, Tobias, and kind of Richardson and Horford. Then everybody else just has to make their shots. They're really the deciding factors. If Ben Simmons has a jump shot, the Bucks have no chance. Not the tournament between, not the 3-way, bro. Chill, not a 3-way. It was just Jonathan Simmons and James Ennis. Just those two. I remember back in the day when I was actually hyped to have Jonathan Simmons on our team just because he was on that Spurs team or whatever. But he never seemed connected with the team. Whenever I would watch him play or whatever, he never seemed in sync with the rest of the Sixers. It was out here he was out there just doing his own thing. Do you think Toby's in his prime? Yeah, he's getting there. He's always been a solid player his whole career. I mean, he's always increased his averages and increased his efficiency a little bit each year. But I don't think he's going to take any big jumps next year or the year after. But I think he is getting there to his prime. And then I was talking about Embiid before, I think he's almost there. Give him another year or two, and then he's probably in his prime. just because of how his career is gonna probably pan out with injuries. I don't think he probably won't be able to go past like 33 if he even gets there. I think he's gonna have a really early prime just because of the fact that obviously he has injury problems, but then he started playing basketball at a really late age, which I think was an advantage for him because obviously he played soccer and got all his foot skills up there. I play soccer. That's the best sport, by the way. Basketball is not the best sport. Football is not the best sport. It's soccer. But I don't know. It's just he seems to be more into the game than everybody else. Or just in general, when you start playing a sport later in your life, you sort of, I can't really explain it, but you're really fresh on that sport and you don't get like as tired of it as you would playing a sport you've been playing since you're like 5 years old. I can't really explain it. Ennis was just as disconnected as Jonathan Simmons until Ennis had a double-double against the Bulls. I don't know how you remember that. A double-double against the Bulls? I'm out. Damn. You get it. Alright. At least I did like a half-decent job there, I guess. Explaining. Oh, that last game. Oh, that was the game that all the starters sat out, and that was the one I wanted to see Tobias play that game, because that would have been his 83rd game or whatever, and that would have been pretty cool to talk about. Yeah. That night was actually chill. That was a really chill night. It would have sucked to if you bought tickets for that game though, because that was so like boring in terms of energy. That game was just dead, but it was cool watching our bench destroy the Bulls. That was fun. Oh, was that the game that Bolden got like ejected or whatever? Was that the game? Embiid brings a lot of energy. Yeah. So tired. That wasn't the game Bolden got ejected. Yeah, I don't remember that. Redo the final seconds. Oh, that was one of the Nets games. Now, wasn't it like Bolden and Kubrick or whatever? That was that one regular season game where everybody wore the bandanas. Embiid wore the bandana. I remember that. Levine scored the layup at the. Oh, that one. That one. Yeah, that was fun. Who was it? Mike Scott and Jimmy Butler, right? They threw that pick and roll and then they miscommunicated and, game over. In game 5? Oh. Damn, dude, I'm all over the place right now. Mike Scott should have switched. Yeah, I remember that. That's so rough. Do you think Zaire Smith will have a good year? If he gets playing time, yes. If he doesn't, no. If he can crack the rotation, then yeah, I think he'll have a great year. Ben Simmons being an 88 and Embiid being a 91 is a joke. Yeah, I can understand it if it's like I don't know if the overall ratings in 2K are an average of all their attributes, or if it's actually just like you give them an attribute stat or whatever for each, for like a 3-point shot, 2-point shot, dunk or whatever. They got all those stats, but then like the overall rating is just like something the devs give them, It's like, even if like they got like a 83 pointer, 80 dunk and an 80 mid range or whatever, they're still like they're like an 85 or whatever. But I don't know if it's like an average of all of their stats, because if it's an average, then I can understand Ben Simmons being an 88, because theoretically his 3-point shot being really low would bring the average down. But if the 2K devs actually like put all those stats in and then they like make their own overall for that player, then yeah, 88 doesn't make sense. I got you rebounding. I got you. Who should we play? Let's have the Sixers away. We'll play the Celtics. We won't play, though. Oh, yeah, we're going to put on some... Oh, yeah, we got the blue jerseys. Let's give them the green ones. The black? Green, yeah, those ones. Oh, yeah, put on the Christmas Sixers jersey. The Christmas Sixers jerseys are fire. These ones right here. Those are nice. Have I ever thought about Horford? Yeah, he's playing the backup 5. Yeah, definitely. He's playing backup 5. I don't know how the rotation's going to be, though. I would assume that Brett Brown would make Embiid come out first and Horford stays in the game, but he might have Horford out first just because of his age and keep Embiid in the game for most of the first quarter and then bring Horford in. I don't know. It's going to be fun seeing the rotations this year, especially because we got all these young guys that we got to incorporate just to see how that works. And the fact that we're going to have a great center on the floor all the time is also dope. That's pretty cool. Safe. Do you think this year's team would have won that Toronto series? No. If you throw them in right now, no. But again, I think if last year's team, if you would have thrown Tobias on the team like a month earlier, then yeah, we probably would have won the Toronto series. But if you just plop this year's team in the Toronto series right now, then no. But with this whole year in preparation, yeah, we could definitely beat that Toronto team. How do I get the updated rosters? You go into play now. So you on 2K, you go into play now, and then you gotta press Y. Just look at the bottom left of the screen and it'll tell you, it'll say roster, and then you just click the middle button which says user created rosters or something like that. At the 6-minute mark, Embiid will come out. Horford stays in, Tobias moves up, and Ennis comes in. I think we'd throw in Mike Scott first. Maybe Ben stays in, Richardson stays in, Horford stays in, and then I think Tobias would come out. Or no, that doesn't make sense. Yeah, slide Horford to the 5, Tobias comes out, Mike Scott goes in, and then you throw in Ennis. So you throw in Mike Scott and Ennis and just move Horford up. I mean, there's so many ways you could play around with it, though. Oh, am I playing the game? Should we just leave it on the AI? Yeah, let's put it on the AI. Do you think this year's team is as deep as the Raptors? No. The Raptors were deep, dude. The Raptors had that bench mob, bro. They were nice off the bench. Except the bench played like trash in the series against us. Van Vliet had like, what was it? He had like 14 points in the entire... Van Vliet had the same amount of points in the entire Raptors-Sixers series as he did in the last quarter of Game 6 of the finals. That was just mind-boggling to me. But yeah, I don't think... We're not as deep as that Toronto team from last year. Even though they played like trash against us. I'm not really taking that into account. I'm just taking into account the general way they played throughout the season. Oh yeah, look at Kemba getting locked up by Simmons. Throws it off the back of Richardson. Yeah, smart. Remember that Ben Simmons to close the game against the Clippers. I didn't get to watch that game, unfortunately. It was too late. I hate those West Coast games. They suck. Is there any way the Sixers can have a monster bench? No, not for the next 5 years. Unless they can get some guys on vet minimums that are championship chasing. But again, it's Philadelphia, not Los Angeles, so I don't really see that happening anyways. It's possible, though. Other than that, unless Horford gets terrible and you salary dump him, the Sixers probably can't get a monster bench. But if you take Horford off the team and you spend that on a bench, we could have a really solid bench, but the starting five wouldn't be as good. So, I mean, it's a trade-off. And the Horford contract isn't as bad as people think. The way it works is year 1's 28, year 2 27.5, year 3 27. Then the fourth year drops off to 14.5 million. Unless, of course, we make the finals or win a championship, then that goes up to like 19.5 or 26.5 million for the last year. But if we don't end up in the finals any of those first 3 years, his contract isn't going to be that bad. It's probably the third year that's going to be the worst when he's making 27 million. That was at 1 a.m. Sindarius Thornwell, yo, dude, that dude is fire. Sindarius Thornwell, I think I follow the Instagram account or whatever, the daily Sindarius Thornwell account. I love him. Yeah, that was one of the games I didn't watch any of it. And wasn't that like right after, a little bit after the Warriors game? I remember the Warriors game. I watched the first half of that game, and I wish I watched the second half too. But yeah. And then I also missed the Bucks game too. The two biggest road wins of the season I missed because I had a soccer game for the Bucks game, and then the Warriors game I had to sleep. You think Horford stays a Sixer? Yeah, I mean, he's not going to be, if he really falls off, he's not going to be tradable. Unless you can get a situation like Chris Paul where you're flipping him in picks for somebody. It was a few weeks before the Warriors game. Oh, yeah, it was before? I thought they went... Interesting. Man, that whole West road trip, I remember way back, I remember watching Broads then or whatever, and it was talking about like this like gauntlet or whatever, 16-game stretch of 500 or above teams. We ended that stretch almost like a little above even or something like that, or like 65% throughout that stretch. That was good. If he falls off, then he should be the full-time backup 5. Like Serge Ibaka. Yeah, I mean, it would just be rough though to be paying him that much money for him to be a backup. Serge Ibaka, I don't think he's getting that much money, nearly that much money. I don't know the logistics of his contracts though. You feel terrible for those OKC fans. Yeah, they probably feel miserable right now. The thing about them is they have a really, really bright future, but they're gonna have to wait a long time. They're gonna have to wait like literally they go to sleep one night knowing they have, a playoff team right now, and then the next morning they wake up and like for the next 3 years they're not gonna have a good team. They're probably not gonna make the playoffs for a few years. That's just, imagine that happening to us, bro. I couldn't imagine that. That would be terrible. The stretch was brutal. I mean, the most brutal part of the stretch wasn't even the fact that we weren't playing at home and we were on the road almost the entire time, but it was just the fact that the games were so late. Serge is making 23, yeah, a little bit less than Horford, and I consider Horford a little bit better. But, yeah. Seattle is lit. Oh, we got Matisse up here too, right as you say that. I don't know if that was a coincidence or if you meant that. I've actually watched a little bit of the Seattle Sounders soccer team or whatever. I've seen them play a little bit. The one Matisse was at the game for. I need to watch more of the MLS. That league is growing. That thing is growing really fast. I got like 5 or 10 more minutes. Since OKC with the Supersonics. Oh, yeah. Do you see us winning a finals 2021? Yeah, I mean, this year, as I said before, I think it'll get harder every year that we don't win a final. If we miss this year, it's going to get harder the next year, and the same thing for the next year. It's going to get harder every year. I'd say if we win a finals, I'd guess it would be this year. Maybe we make the final. I say that we probably have the highest chance of getting anywhere this year, especially with Brooklyn. KD coming back, he might come back this year for the playoffs. Dude, if something happens and we end up playing the Nets because they're like a lower seed or whatever, and we end up playing them in the first round with KD, I'll be scared. I'll be honest. I'll be terrified. You're interested in the possibility of the Derek White trade. Yeah, there's no rumors about it. It was just like a mock trade that somebody threw out there. I wouldn't mind it. I don't know much about him, but wouldn't be that bad of a trade. It's probably just unlikely though. Spurs will turn Jonah Bolden into the next like Kawhi though. And then we'll all regret the trade. Healthy Nets team scares me. I think that we could win the series. I mean, yeah, we could. I'd say that's a pretty even series there. We have the better front court. They have the better back court. But the fact that they have Kyrie Irving, Spencer Dinwiddie, and Karis LeVert on the same team terrifies me. That's probably the scariest part of playing them. That's just scary. White dropped 35 points against Denver. Oh, yeah, he had that breakout game with that one dunk. I remember that one. I know he played great in the playoffs or whatever, but that's like everybody on the Spurs. Yeah. I know he's young as well. That would be good, too. Maybe a little younger than Bolden. I'm not exactly sure. Something, watching Simmons right now. Something I noticed in that video or whatever that got put out, the same one of him taking the jump shots, is that he's working on his like ISO game too. Even if he's like driving into the basket, he's got those like size up dribbles or whatever in his arsenal, I guess, right now. He's working on those too to like get to the basket when he wants or whatever, and ISO a little bit. Who are we meeting in the finals? I mean, that's if we get to the finals, but Lakers or Clippers. Give the Jazz another year and they could probably make the finals too, but not this year. You could also give the Warriors a year too. If they could pull something off with D'Angelo Russell and get some pieces back in return for him, dude, they could be back in the finals. You think there's a chance White can be moved? The Spurs have a lot of guards. Oh yeah, DeJounte Murray. I saw a lot of people are like obsessing over him. He was like injured last season, and then Derek White stepped up a little bit or something like that. I believe that was the situation. All right, I got a couple more minutes and then I'm gonna go. So I mean, if you guys got any more questions, let me know, and I'll answer this quickly. Matisse and Zaire jump shot. Matisse, good. Just like Danny Green's. Great release. Clean. Really, really clean. Zaire, the release is too low. Sort of looks like Zion's a little bit. It just reminds me of Zion's a little. I mean, it has work to do, but I don't think Zaire's going to be like a great shooter or anything, obviously. I think he'll be average, maybe a little below average, but he might be able to like have that clutch factor in him or whatever, where all his shots will go in like later in games. We'll see. We just signed Trey Burke. Hold up. Checking Twitter. Hold up. Burke. Let's search that up. Hold up. I gotta confirm. Nope, that ain't it. Getting Trump something related to Trump. Oh yeah, you got me. I admit that. Thibault he could be better than Danny Green because he has better dribbles, but he's basically just a Danny Green. He's like an upgraded Danny Green, but obviously he has work to do. Trey Burke, I'd love that signing. Okay, let me back out of this game because I'm going to have to go soon. All right. I guess I'm going to stop the stream here. I hope you guys enjoyed the stream or whatever. If you did, don't forget to drop a like, subscribe if you're new. I appreciate everybody for talking in the stream. We had some great conversations about the Sixers. Maybe I'll do one of these streams tomorrow. We'll see. But yeah, thank you again, especially Sixer Daily, for all the great conversation we had here. And yeah, maybe I'll see you guys tomorrow. I'm not sure if I'm going to do a stream yet. I'll probably have a video maybe going up tomorrow. I still have to record a commentary. Just realized that. Probably not going up till Thursday because I'm going to be out Thursday. But we'll see. So yeah, I'll see you guys in the next one, or I'll see you guys in the next video. Or if you want to go check out my Instagram, link in the description. I'm on there every single day, all day basically. So yeah, you can hit me up there. See you guys.